The following is a presentation of the Broadband Universe, brought to you by Lit Communities. Get the expertise you need to bring a high-speed network to your hometown. Lit Communities. You deserve better internet. By Vetro FiberMap. Vetro builds software that makes it radically simpler and faster for broadband providers to plan, design, build, and operate their fiber optic networks. By OnTrack Incorporated, providing telecommunications services to a myriad of service providers nationwide. OnTrack, a proven leader in connectivity. And by Vitruvi, build faster, reduce costs, improve quality. Hello everyone and welcome to another edition of the Broadband Universe. I'm Craig Corbin. It is a pleasure to welcome our guest today, Mr. Jim Vaughn, the president of 3HV Innovations. Jim,
Hi.
welcome.
Hi, Corbin. Thank you for having me on.
Absolutely. It is always interesting to catch up with folks that are so involved in the industry, especially now with so much that's going on. And I know 3HV Innovations, no exception to that. It was great to catch up with you in Nashville at Fiber Connect. That was a phenomenal show. Before we get into this conversation, just a quick recap from your perspective on Fiber Connect 2022.
Corbin, Fiber Connect 2022 was amazing. The level of interest, the number of people there was exponentially larger than ever before. I've been a member of the Fiber Broadband Association for I think 4 years now, and the first Fiber Connect I went to was in Orlando, I think back in 2018, and it was nothing like this one. This one actually looked like a huge conference. The number of vendors, the speakers, the breakout sessions were extremely valuable, and as we all know, the huge increase in interest is from rural communities that now have the ability to tap into that federal broadband money that was made available through the infrastructure bill to provide rural broadband communities with high-speed internet.
It's sort of a golden age, a golden opportunity for so many of the prospective providers that are out there, and that's a big part of the conversation. And when we talk about your involvement in the industry, a very solid foundation for creating 3HV Innovations just a couple of years ago. Take us back to how you got started in the world of communications.
Wow, that's 30-some years ago. So I originally, went to school at the University of Wisconsin for computer science and digital electronics, and right out of college I started writing code, and then right after that I started working for GTE Communications. If anyone remembers back then, before Verizon, there was Bell Atlantic and GTE.
Yep.
And they merged to create Verizon, but I was a systems engineer there, so I installed and designed large communications networks for both voice, video, and data. Did that for a number of years, all the way through the 90s. And then got hired by a hardware manufacturer, 3Com, in the mid-90s, and did systems design and engineering work for them. And then got hired by Cisco Systems in the late 90s, and of course Cisco System being one of the largest hardware manufacturers for internet products. Everyone pretty much knows them. And worked my way into management, executive management. So I was an executive there for years, running $1 billion division for them. And saw the introduction of voice over IP, while I was at Cisco Systems, and now everybody has an IP phone versus an analog, phone on a digital system or analog system. Then real quickly, I'll just finish up with, I got, kind of tired of living on an airplane. So in 2005, I started my own software technology company, and hired a bunch of developers and a national, sales and tech support team, and provided software in a variety of vertical markets for customer relationship management and loyalty applications, and ended up selling that to a Fortune 500 company in 2011. How I got involved in 3HV was good friend of mine told me that in the fiber broadband space, there's typically between 4, 7, 9 different applications they use for installing fiber to the home or to the premise. And could I use my expertise to help out developing a application that streamlines all that? So I spent several years with a couple of my software developers, working with them side by side with field techs, managers, supervisors, to figure out what's a good solution to replace all of their custom-made access databases and spreadsheets and other off-the-shelf applications they were using to do all of this. And that was the birth of 3HV in 2018, really, is when we started.
Interesting. Well, what is, to me, most important about what you just shared is the time that you and the developer spent in the field with the guys in the trenches. I think you put it that it's designed by field operators for field operators, and that cuts to the chase with regard to doing exactly what the providers need. That single application, which is such a huge time saver and obviously affects the bottom line for operators. Address that, if you would.
Sure. So, using these different applications, 4 to 7 is what we see for both municipalities, cooperatives, and even fiber broadband installers. They're paying for a lot of these different applications. And as a result, using 3HV as a one application does it all and makes it simple, they save quite a bit of money on them, and also an extremely amount of time they save. Right. Interestingly enough, working with those fiber broadband installers in the field, there was a lot of functionality that we put into the software, like taking pictures of the job site, getting customer satisfaction surveys while you're there, showing the customer their license agreement and seeing what they're going to pay for immediately. Was a big, huge help, and also managing their fleet of vehicles and assets out in the field. All those things were extremely valuable to the fiber broadband installers. But as we started talking more to municipalities, broadband providers, the guys that are providing internet service to the consumer, there was a whole bunch of things that they wanted that we didn't have in our software, and our software is constantly being enriched with additional features. It's sold as a software as a service, so new features, new functionality are always being introduced quarterly. The things that the municipalities and cooperatives and broadband providers were looking for were more along the lines of scheduling and making sure customers were satisfied with the service they were receiving, and also doing digital marketing to their clients.
When you talk about fleet management and the ability to make the very most of the team that these providers have, that makes a huge difference with regard to especially the demand for new installs and servicing the ones that exist. And I'm sure that there is very much an appreciation that you see and hear from your existing clients.
Oh, absolutely. I was just talking to a prospect of ours up in Bristol, Tennessee, and they use 12 applications to provide internet and phone service and video services to their clients. And a lot of that is around managing their fleet of vehicles, managing their assets. Well, what are their assets? All this test equipment and installation equipment, OTDRs, fiber splicers, all that stuff costs a lot of money, and who has it? Where is it? And our product does a very, very good job at managing where those things are, when they're maintenance. Also managing inventory in the field. Is it in the warehouse? Is it in truck stock? Is it actually installed at a customer site? And on and on. So we really do a very good job at providing an end-to-end solution, integrating to several billing packages and fiber mapping applications out there. When I first started doing research, I found that there are several billing systems that are very good. And so we never wanted to be a billing system company. We never wanted to be a fiber GIS mapping company because there's several of them out there. So what we do is we partner with them, we integrate with them. So the client is not entering the data 4, 5, 6 times. They enter it once, whether it's into our app or into the billing app, and then it automatically communicates to update the other software application. My team of developers are U.S. based, and they have decades of experience in providing world-class solutions where millions of people are using them and integrating to third-party applications.
That's exciting. You're watching the Broadband Universe, brought to you by Lit Communities. Light up your community. You deserve better internet. By Vetro FiberMap, radically simpler fiber management. By OnTrack, a proven leader in connectivity. And by Vitruvi, build faster, reduce costs, and improve quality. Our guest today, the president of 3HV Innovations, Jim Vaughn. And Jim, you talk about being able to provide a single application for operators, and especially it's fine, when you talk about changing the lives of those who have been in the industry for a long time, but especially now with so many prospective providers that are out there. You talk about the BEAD money, the RDOF, the CAF funding that we'll see a lot more folks getting into the world of broadband. How much different will their experience be having the tools like what you provide at 3HV Innovations?
So what's interesting, Corbin, as I've been talking to municipalities, broadband providers around the United States, is they often take a look at what's out there and they end up scratching their head saying, hey, there's so many different applications and I need so many different software applications to manage this process. And what they're telling me is, wow, this is fantastic. This is like a total solution, one application that integrates with all the third-party apps that I require, such as billing, fiber mapping, and this just really makes it easy for us. And that's what it should be. They shouldn't have to spend an enormous amount of time researching and looking at different apps, logging into 12 different applications or 7 applications just to do their job. And they shouldn't have to enter the data in, to 4, 5, 6 different applications.
Yeah. The needless repetition of data entry, eliminating the swivel chair approach to life is something that makes a huge difference. And I know there are a lot of happy folks out there on the staffs of all the companies that you work with. As far as what you see in the future with additional developments, you talk about upgrades that come out to your service on a quarterly basis, and you have a phenomenal list of applications that are provided in that one approach. Where do you see the next opportunities?
So, Corbin, I would say that our software roadmap goes out 18 months of what we're adding into the application, and we listen to our customers. We take a look at the industry and see where it's going and what is needed. And my background in systems engineering and communications networks and providing customer relationship management software in the past gives me a unique view of what is coming next. Digital marketing is one that's already a module in our software. And our software is modular based, which means you can buy a base package which provides basic functionality for work orders and scheduling and mapping and routing technicians. But what municipalities are finding out is they've never had to market services, right? You can move into a community and you know who to call for water, sewer, electric services. So then all of a sudden, as you become a broadband provider in your community, you all of a sudden have to market and compete with other broadband services. Now, fiber to the home is a premium service, and so as soon as people hear about that you have it, that's an easy decision to make, but you got to get the word out there. So we provided a digital marketing module. You upload your entire customer base, which is 50,000, 10,000, 2,000, people in your community, and you can immediately start digitally marketing to them about services you're offering, whether it's high-speed internet, security services, phone services, or video video services that you can also offer. And it's one click of a button. So versus going out and finding yet another application like Constant Contact or something like that to start marketing to your community. So that's one unique piece that came from my background. Another piece is integrating to the hardware manufacturers. We just became a premier certified partner with Calix. They're a hardware provider in this space.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. Very long process to become a certified partner with them. So kudos to them to making it challenging to become a partner. They don't just accept everybody. So what does that mean? That means when a CSR is sitting there on the phone talking to a customer that says their internet is out, our software is going to pop up alarms of where Calix equipment is showing systems outages. And they just click on it and it'll show them on a map all the locations where equipment is showing outages. So that immediately lets the CSR know that, there must be a fiber break, there must be a tree down somewhere, or a backhoe has struck underground fiber, and versus sending out rolling trucks out to all these locations, I can do some quick diagnostics just by looking at that. And then when a truck does roll, a technician gets their repair work order, and they can click on the status of the NID, status of the mesh Wi-Fi router in the customer's home, and see packets in, packets out, uptime, light levels, without even having to roll the truck. And that's right around the corner for our next software release. So we're very excited about that.
That is awesome. And what you've described is something that makes a difference in the day-to-day lives of people all across the country that are looking for ways to proactively take care of their customers. That's the bottom line, and providing the best possible service. Much of what we've talked about and what you've shared in the conversation has sort of been encapsulated in a proposition value video that 3HV Innovations recently released. Very impressed, loved the animation.
More than half a dozen software programs will be used by both fiber broadband and wireless broadband operators to perform the functions of 3HV on their behalf. All of these different programs are used for daily operations. Customer information must be input several times across numerous apps. Check out how Bob handles an internet service request from a customer. Customer: hello, I would like to order high-speed internet to my house. Bob: sure thing. Let me look you up and check availability in your area. Bob goes through multiple applications and software to add in entry and schedule installations, etc. The procedure is tedious. Sure, he gets the job done, but with so many complications. But 3HV Broadband Operations and Workforce Management software combines all these different applications into one. Let's watch Bob again, this time using 3HV. Customer: hello, I would like to order high-speed internet to my house. Bob: sure thing. Let me enter your internet service request and schedule the installation. Bob enters the internet service order. And 3HB automatically communicates with billing, fiber mapping, checks field technician availability, assigns work orders, checks warehouse for parts, and much more. The order pops up on the technician's tablet automatically. He completes the work order, takes pictures of the job sites, and gets customer signature and customer satisfaction survey. Bob, I see the internet service order is complete with satisfactory feedback. Billing begins. So, with 3HB operations and workforce management software, save time and be more productive. Save money. We make it simple. Request a demo at 3hb.com today.
And on behalf of Jim, I'm Craig Corbin. Thanks for letting us be a part of your day. We'll see you next time right here on the Broadband Universe. So long, everybody.
Bye.